Hello, hello, YouTube, Facebook, the Facebook page, the Facebook group. Everywhere that the stream is put on, y'all know what's up. Now, we already got 18 people watching. Good. Today, we're just gonna do a little freestyle Q&A. I just got back from Nakuru. And if you guys don't know, they got this magical plant out there that's perfectly legal that you chew on it. And when you chew on it, it gives you, it's almost like chewing on a coca leaf. If you let it sit in your mouth, it just has like that stimulant effect to it. I tried it the first time yesterday. At first, it wasn't working. And then I tried it again. And they said, no, you're supposed to let it sit in your mouth. And it's like supposed to absorb into your mouth. I did that. And I swear to God, it felt like I took an Adderall. Like I was just bouncing in place. I couldn't sit still. So I bought a few bags of it. And I was like, it gotta be a way I could sell this. But I think you can sell it, you just gotta have a license and all that. And that's a whole nother process that I had to figure out. As Real says, have you been working out? Yes, I just started lifting weights again. So I tried doing body weight. That's not really cutting it for me. But the weights is where it's at for me in the pre-workout. And it's working a lot. Now, did I love Nakuru? Yes, I did. It's somewhere I could stay for a limited amount of time, and I'd have to have an itinerary. It's not like Nairobi where I could just move there and just live life. Because at the stage of life I'm at right now, I'm not looking to be slow, and Nakuru is slow compared to Nairobi. Nairobi is very fast-paced. Nakuru seems more like a city life. But there's a vlog dropping in 2 hours. I know I starved y'all for 3 days, but I had to get my energy back right. I was not feeling it. My energy's been off. That's why we went ahead and got another plane ticket to Romania. And we're going to talk about that too. Michelle Farmer, thank you very much. Todd has brought you up before too. Thank you very much. Now we're going to Romania, and I've said this. I put up a community post where I said that, it's time for me to leave Africa because I'm having negative thoughts. So you guys know that I put out blunt statements, not on purpose. That's just what type of person I am. I say stuff in a blunt way. Hold on, let me make sure it's lit. Now, y'all know I just say stuff bluntly because that's the type of person I am. So, of course, when I make blunt statements, here comes the critics, here comes the so-called supporters. They flip out, and the trolls and everybody else, and they say, oh, you have insulted the Africans. We're ready for you to leave. And the majority of these people that are telling me, oh, we're ready for you to leave, they're not even African. They're Americans, upset because I said I'm going to a different continent. FYI, just FYI, before I left October 16th, 2022, if you go watch my videos, you'll see that I announced I was doing a world tour. That's why this will be my 4th continent this year. Started in South America, went to Southeast Asia, Africa, now to be Europe. May go back to South and Central America again before it's up. 40 years up. So yeah, we're doing a world tour right now. So I'm going to live in Africa so far, but I'm also going to continue doing what I said I was going to do, which was travel the world. Another thing, What do I mean by when I say, oh, I'm having negative thoughts? No, that does not mean I'm talking about the people in a negative way. No. Me, that's a me thing. What's going on, DeSantos? Whenever I stay in one spot too long, I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you guys have been watching me, you've probably seen it. If I stay in one spot too long, I'll start the honeymoon phase goes away. Then I'll start to critique it. Just like Thailand. Like Thailand, when I first got back there in January, I was like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was. I actually like it. It's a culture shock. Everything's Asian. Stuff is just on a different pace. But after about that 4th month of being in Asia, you heard me start talking shit. Because now it's like, oh, okay, now it's no longer. I thank God for giving me the opportunity to tour Asia. I really enjoyed going to Vietnam, Cambodia, the Philippines, and Thailand. I have memories that I will never forget. But I critiqued it because now I can see everything. When you get somewhere, you have rose-colored glasses on. I guess it's just like a woman. Whenever you go somewhere, whenever you meet a woman, you see her for what you want to see her as, and the longer you stay around her, you're like, okay, this motherfucker really is not what I thought. That's how it is with cities too. Now, somebody asked, why am I always going to capital cities? I go to cities where most people go to. For example, the United States is a place where most people don't start in it, or they don't have to start in the capital. You can start in Dallas, you can start in LA, you can start in New York, you can start in Miami, you can start in OKC. That's because the United States is damn near the size of the whole continent, or at least the part that people live in. But Nairobi, Kenya, Kenya has 2 major cities that I think that airports fly into. So between Mombasa and Nairobi, which one do you think I'm gonna pick? You notice when people go to Brazil, they don't start in the capital, which is Brasilia. You probably never even heard of Brasilia because nobody goes there. But they go to Rio because at the same time, Brazil is almost the entire South American continent. Now, good to check a couple Eastern European countries out right now before it gets too cold until next spring. Absolutely. So I'm going to be in Thailand for about 2 weeks, 10 days, somewhere around there. Coming back here to Nairobi, I'll be in Nairobi just a few minutes. Not literally a few minutes because I had to check out of the airport and come back the next day. Then I'll go to Romania, going through Romania. I'll be in Romania for a couple weeks. Then I'll go to Poland for a couple weeks. Then we'll go to Germany for a couple weeks. And we might do more than one city in Germany. By the way, Floyd is going with me. Floyd is going to Eastern Europe with Auston. He's not going to Thailand, but he's going to Eastern Europe with Auston. So we're gonna tour Europe together because he just said, you know what? Why don't we just tour Europe while we're there? Because I was gonna go to Romania and come back, but then I thought about it. Let me tell you what I really thought about. Going to Europe is where I can replace a lot of the money I've spent in Africa. Because believe it or not, it'd be cheaper being in Western Europe than it would be in Africa. Why? Because, like I said, I'm going to Romania, Poland, Germany, Spain, Portugal, and Italy. So don't give me comments. Tell me you need to lay off the substances. I'm just fine. My life is a substance. But in Europe, you can go, from my understanding, you can go all around Western Europe on a train. Germany, then I can go to Italy, then I can go to Spain, and of course Portugal, because they're basically on the same plateau. And then my homeboy told me to go to the Netherlands to see what they got going on out there. So I think I'll go to the Netherlands too by train. And it's cheap to get around that train. There is no continent-wide train in Africa, and flying in Africa is extremely costly. It's extremely costly. So I can go, and plus, let's be honest, a good amount of my audience either don't like black women or they don't only want to see black. First of all, you guys want to see diversity. That's why I don't stay in one spot too long. Like Africa, for people that think that I'm talking crazy about Africa, let's make this clear. Brazil was my baby, right? I've been in the continent of Africa longer than I was in Brazil, and nobody's forcing me to stay here. So don't come over here with that bullshit. Oh, he's insulting us. I'm choosing to stay here as long as I've been. But people just got some, they just need to say something. What made me pick Romania first was Floyd actually picked it first. We were actually saying we were either going to do Spain, Italy, Germany, or Romania first. And he picked Romania. So I'm down to go wherever. For me, it's time for a change of scenery. It's time for a new set of people, not permanently, but just because look at my content. You can see Americans, Latin people, then you can see Asian people. Now you got Africans. Now it's time to be in Europe. Some black, I gotta be able to show everybody everything. Some black men like white girls. Somebody said, let's be honest, those African women have been too similar to American black women. They're not the same, but the longer I stay here, I can see some similarities for sure. But they're not the same. Because if I had to pick which one I could deal with, I would pick the African women because they're a lot more easier to deal with, and there's just a lot less bullshit that comes with it. But there are some things that aren't the same, but when they do certain things, it's like, that seems very familiar, but it's not the same. Somebody said staying in Europe is not cheap either. Actually, the prices I'm paying for the Airbnbs here is the same in Europe. But let's not forget, while I've been in Africa, the majority of the money that I've been spending in Africa is going to the damn plane tickets. No bullshit. Like if I want to go outside of Kenya and come back, you're talking about $1,000. If I fly I already looked up my flight from Romania to Poland. That flight is $110. Most flights in Europe are about $100 a piece. Meaning that for the price it costs me to do a round trip to the neighboring country, for example, if I want to fly to Rwanda and then come back to Kenya, that's $1,000. For that one country I can do 10 countries in Europe. So in the long run, I'm going to save a lot more. Now, maybe, when it comes to buying food in somewhere like France, maybe it might be more expensive, but man, all that's controllable. And to be honest, it can't be that much more expensive because being in Africa, I'm not gonna lie to you, the more I stay here, the more I'm starting to wonder, am I really spending the same amount I was spending in the United States? Because the only thing that seems cheap now is the Uber. Like, for example, my average meal is $10, $15. If I go to, the plane tickets are super expensive. If I go to Velvet Taco in the United States, that's a big thing in Texas, right? I think it's everywhere though. I can get 3 tacos for $15 and I'll be full. Same thing that's over here, $15. So when you think about it, it's not that much different. Now, of course, you can go to mom and pop shops, yeah. But look, when I was in Brazil, the gym I used to work at Smart Fit in Salvador. There was a small little restaurant. These ladies that ran it. It was an all female restaurant. They was all cooking. I would be full as a tick. Like I would get five like these grilled or fried chicken tenders, whichever one I wanted, a big plate of rice, a big plate of beans, and sometimes greens, and all that would be like $4. And it was enough food for me to be full from 10 a.m. to like 5 p.m. You could be full off that food all day, especially my appetite now. I've lessened my appetite. Somebody said the food is healthier here, though. Yeah, it is healthier, so it's worth paying for it. It's for sure worth it. But I'm just saying, the sisterhood has reached all parts of the world and negatively influenced too many black women. It has reached everywhere, but nowhere is as bad as it is in the States. So today we're gonna do a Q&A because my energy is up pretty high. Let's see. We could even do a panel. Let's do a Q&A. I think I'm going live too much. Put a one in the chat if you think I'm going live too much. I might have to switch the lives to 2 to 3 lives per week instead of 3 to 4. I named the title of this video, What Am I Gonna Do with Myself? So that made me forget. What am I gonna do with myself? Meaning, what am I gonna do with the fact that I cannot sit still? Somebody anonymous said, "Why are you coming back to Kenya right after Thailand? If basically, if I'm only gonna be here one day." Reason being is I had already bought my round trip ticket. I had already bought. Usually, I buy one ways, but I knew for a fact I was not gonna stay in Thailand long enough for me to feel like I'm gonna get a one way. So I was already coming back, and I just told Floyd, "Hey, I'll be back on this day." And so I'm not. The flights are so expensive. I don't want to risk. You know, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to risk these $1,000 plane tickets having to pay for another one. So I just said I'll just come back here and go back. It would make more sense to go straight from there to Romania. You zone out after a bit when you do panels. Yeah, that's usually why I don't do panels. That's usually why I was better doing rants. No, keep the lives coming, but start clipping the lives and upload clips from the lives. Yes. Yes, I do need to do that. I'm so lazy. I'm so lazy to do that. But I got a guy, my tour guide out here, he's been helping me out with that kind of stuff. Also, if you have not, make sure you go reach out to my tour guide if you are coming to Nairobi. He can tour you all around the country of Kenya. He'll go everywhere with you. And I'm gonna put his Instagram right here. It'll be in the next vlog that's coming up here in a few minutes, but or in a few hours. But it's Curve Tours 8. Are you dating anyone at the moment? No, not seriously. I've honestly kind of slowed down on dating in Nairobi because I figured out what's really going on in Nairobi. And if you really want to know what's going on, you need to join the members only. But the guy KB, I think it's RB. No, it's RB. RB that was spilling the beans in the last live. A lot of the stuff he's saying is true. I mean, I don't know so much about. They do like the white man, but thank you very much, Morgana Days, with the 320. What is that? What currency is that? Super sticker. Thank you very much. What do I think about the women in Japan? I'm not really into Asian women like that. They got some good looking ones. I'm not calling them ugly. It's just my preference is not really leaning towards Asian. Rich Exotics, the 808 new member. Thank you very much. Join the members only if you would like to hear what's really going on in Nairobi. And I did a video I just uploaded about what do I really think about Africa right now. Oh no, I'm actually about to upload that right now as we speak. And I go into detail about a few experiences I had. I don't ever really get scammed in Kenya, but last night a guy tried to get me, and I end up getting really pissed off because I've had enough of scamming just continent wide because it's getting out of control. Nairobi, I don't ever really experience it. I have, but not enough to complain about it. But this guy was my driver. He did a $12 worth of work. He ended up asking me for $35. It's something that wouldn't even have cost me for a car in Nairobi. The price in Nairobi is double of what it is in Nakuru. Everything in Nakuru is half. So if you come to Kenya and you're not into the busy lifestyle that's in Nairobi, you would go somewhere like Nakuru and everything was half. The cost of the rides, the food was extremely cheap. I had a really, really, really nice 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom Airbnb for $28 a night. And somewhere like this would be $35 to $40, sometimes even $50 a night. And I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. And it was in a really nice area, gated, secure, modern. Nothing was really outdated about it. It was very nice, very well taken care of. $28 a night, which means that this dude is probably paying $200 or $300 a month for a 2 or 3 bedroom. Only thing about it is in Nakuru, from what I've seen, it's not really nothing out there. Like that's like the local experience. Like you're not gonna see any Westerners really out there. They're there, but from what I see, you're not really gonna see any there. It doesn't look like a place a lot of Westerners would be attracted to, per se. But I really enjoyed the time there. It was a getaway from the busy lifestyle in Nairobi. But I love the busy lifestyle, so I'm back here. I was only planning to stay one night. Let me get back to you guys' questions. And then we'll continue with the Q&A. But I do need to watch these lives and clip them up. I'm just too lazy to do that. I hate doing it. That dude, international passport, stays talking mad trash about you. I haven't heard him say anything. I don't even watch him. I know who you're talking about, though, but I don't watch him. So you're not going to Ethiopia? Yes, I'm going to Ethiopia and South Africa and Angola and Mozambique and Madagascar. But that's going to be on a loop around. Here's what y'all need to know. South Africa, Mozambique, Ethiopia, they'll be there in 500 years, they'll still be there. Those places are not going nowhere. So I don't have to hit all of them at the same time. I can come back. Am I going to link up with Kate in Thailand? Absolutely not. I'm going to Thailand actually to link up with somebody else. A black chick too. Somebody I met the last time I was down there. But she doesn't like to be on camera, so I don't expect her to be talking while we out there. Now, lose a cigar, your lungs will thank you. I'll take your... Guys, stop saying that. Stop saying it, though. It's annoying. I appreciate it, though. Anonymous says, will you let your Kenya apartment go? So I want you guys' opinion on that. Because my next itinerary, I want Kenya to be a home base because of the location is at. You know, if I want to fly from here to Latin America, it's not as expensive as it'll be for me flying from Asia to Latin America, or vice versa. It's in the middle of the world, basically. Kenya is, or Africa per se. If I fly to Europe, it's only a few $100, maybe $500, versus if I fly from Asia to Europe, it might be $800. So it's geographically, it's in a good spot. But I'm talking to my landlord and see if we could work out a deal or something because I don't really want to move my stuff out of here. But I'm gonna take most of my stuff anyway because I'm gonna be gone for 2 months. So I'm pretty much gonna take my whole closet, and that's pretty much all I got is clothes. But that stuff fills up in the bag, and maybe little stuff. But uh, I plan to be gone around 70 days whenever I leave. That means that's 2 months that I just be basically giving away free rent. And my lease is over at the end of October. So I don't think that I want to. It's a hard decision to make. Yeah, exactly. So I'm what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is whenever I leave to go to Thailand, I'm gonna pack all. I'm gonna buy another suitcase and probably just have like 2 or 3 check. Well, I already have 2 check bags, but have 3 check bags. Take all my stuff with me to Thailand. Take all my stuff with me to Romania. Yeah, somebody said find a storage room. That would be a good idea. That's what I'm thinking about doing. The only thing is, I hate carrying around all that stuff. Like, especially if I plan to take the train around Europe, carrying all that stuff, 2 check bags, my backpack, my barber case. I mean, I guess it's okay because you only do it every 10 days. I mean, I actually had been doing that. I had been doing that anyway, you know. But the best decision is for me to just not re-sign my lease, and whenever I go to Thailand, just take everything with me. And there will always be another apartment in Nairobi. I can always come back. Plus, we're gonna have to put the power of 48 laws. I mean, the 48 laws of power on them, and create some scarcity. Because when you make yourself scarce, when you get back, people are like, "Oh my God, it's Auston." Somebody said, "Drop your stuff off at your friend Troy's house." I didn't think of that. I'd probably ask him that because I'm supposed to see him tomorrow. But I don't like to ask people stuff like that. You know, I don't like to ask people, "Can I leave stuff at their house?" Just because I don't know. I wouldn't mind if somebody did that to me. I just don't like doing that. Then again, it's not that much stuff that I'm leaving around. One suitcase full of clothes, the other suitcase full of some clothes, and then some little stuff. And then I could buy a third suitcase and just that's 3 damn suitcases though, man. Oh, how did I forget? While we're in Europe, we're gonna do Sweden too. We're not gonna skip Sweden. I've heard way too many good things. But I'll be for sure gone 2 months, maybe 3. And then whenever I do come back to Africa, I will come back to Nairobi, be here for maybe a week, then go to South Africa. Or I can quit having so much love from Nairobi and just go straight to South Africa and save some money. Because, like I just told you guys, it's not cheap to fly from one country to the next. So, if my last country is Sweden, it's probably cheaper for me to fly from Sweden straight to South Africa than it is for me to fly from Sweden to Kenya than South. You'll spend more money going from Kenya to South Africa, I think. But somebody said that clean the ashes off. I do, pat them out. But what I heard a guy on YouTube say is that you blow it out, like you blow through the cigar and it blows the impurities out, so you can taste the taste that they intended. Yeah, they got some bad women in Sweden, and I heard there's really, 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 really friendly. Yeah, I don't like going to Europe in the cold, but I'm sacrificing it. And plus, you only live once, and I don't want to spend too much time in one place. I know you guys loved Africa when I first got here, but I noticed the longer I stay, you guys become less and less interested. I noticed, like, for example, I got to Tanzania, everybody was excited. It was a shock. It was different. Went to Kenya, it got even better. Went to Uganda, people liked it. Went to Rwanda, people liked it because it was beautiful. Went to Zambia, it's kind of Went to Ghana. People told me they started tuning all out of my channel when I got to Ghana. Then I went to Senegal, picked back up, got to Kenya, dropped back down again. after maybe 3 or 4 days. And that's because I've already showed you guys Nairobi. So I was like, oh, let me go to the national park over here. Got some good views on that. This other one, these other 2 vlogs should get some good views. But for the most part, I know you guys are ready to see something different. They're not all the same, but they're all African people. And you guys want to see a variety. And that's the benefit of being in Europe, right? Is that Europe has mostly white people. But when you're in Western Europe, from what I've seen, you can still find other foreigners there. And that creates more content. Like I can have a video of what was it like being a Nigerian moving to France and do an interview with them about how do they feel. So that way people in Nigeria that may want to move to France can have a reason to watch my channel. He said, I saw a vlog from Web Nation guy. Yeah, Web Nation is out here. We met a few times. I got a new Kenyan bracelet today too. Yeah, I never forget about y'all. This one is so small, I don't even know if I'll be able to take it off. Plus, whenever I get to Sweden, I got a few homeboys that's gonna meet with me. Women get active in Europe in the winter. The chicks will be ready by then. Views do go up and down, but it does have a lot to do with that is an algorithm thing, right? But it does have a lot to do with where I am and how long I stay. And from what I understand, travel channels on YouTube, whenever they, and also this is the lighter I use too. This is the local one. It's a 4-flame torch. So whenever certain travel channels stay in one spot for too long, the algorithm will push them at a lesser priority, as opposed to somebody just jumping around. Yeah, they do have black women in the Netherlands. I've seen that. I watch every video, but I'd love to see you hit up more locations. Exactly. And that's one thing that I like that Andre told me that this is how I always looked at it, and he confirmed it. Right now, for my channel, I'm building a portfolio, right? And here's the good thing about YouTube. Once you get 2,000 or 3,000 videos, if I don't care if they're making 25 cents a day each. If you have 2,000 videos making 25 cents a day, you do not ever have to work again. So, because now you have a portfolio. When people find out who Auston Holleman is, now they can binge watch my channel for 6 days straight. Because I got 2,000 videos. You can't even watch all those videos in 6 days. Even if you're sitting around in the house doing nothing with no job. Now, another thing, Anonymous says, you'll make more money in Europe, higher CPM. I will say that. I will say that is one thing I've been thinking about for months that I am excited about, is because of the Forex, the higher currency rate in those countries in Europe, especially Western Europe, there will be more opportunity as far as sponsorships, and my CPM, which is how much I get paid per 1,000 views, will go up a lot. It'll be, I'm assuming it'll be just like I was in the United States again. So that's why I said Europe, if I stay in Europe for 2 to maybe 6 months, or not even 6 months, if I just do 7 countries in Europe in like 80 days, let's say, I'll be able to make back all the money I spent in Africa and spend less while I'm doing it and still live the same way. And guess what? Guess what's really about to happen? Because we got this right here. EJ done already threw it out there. And this is what I knew was going to happen when I went to Europe. He said, white girls, really, bro? Yes. First of all, I do them all. I have my preferences, and black is at the top. Again, I just told you, I've been here longer than I was in Brazil. I had the option to go in. I could have went back to Latin America a long time ago. I just chose not to. Brazil's not the only Latin American country, though. But it's just something about Africa I just really wanted to learn and explore it. And there's so many places you can go to in Africa that are so different than each other. I couldn't stay no 3 months here. That'd have been too quick, especially when I found somewhere I loved, like Kenya and Tanzania. I couldn't stay there in 3 months. That's not enough time. But yes, at the same time, this is my life, but this is also my job. And my job is to give my audience what they want to see. And all my audience does, they want to see the world. They want to see, because what I'm doing is trying to find somewhere to live the rest of my life, right? They want to see me try everywhere because they may have the same idea and they could use my videos as hell. You know, it seemed like I seem similar to Austin's personality or what he wants. And he found refuge in Brazil, in Kenya, Tanzania, and let's say, for example, maybe Sweden or Spain. I think I'm gonna try what Austin tried. I'm gonna try those countries too. So now I save you a lot of time. But at the same time, I'm gonna try everything. The American black women, the American black women are trying everything. I bet you if some rich man in Portugal or Czechoslovakia reaches out to them, well, I guess Czechoslovakia isn't the same thing anymore, but Czech Republic reaches out to them, you think they gonna be? Oh no, they gonna be. They don't care if he's white, Mexican. They gonna try everything that's gonna let them. They gonna do everything. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Why can't I do that? But he said, yes, I was of the idea of you going to Europe, it would make it easier for move around the world. Yeah. So I plan to have a home base on every continent. For sure, we know right now is Kenya, and I heard South Africa, but I haven't been there yet. Kenya, Thailand will be another one in Asia, or Vietnam. Colombia, I can't speak for the whole Latin America because I've only been in 2 countries, but I know for sure Colombia and Brazil will be another base. And somewhere in Europe. Somebody said Georgia is good in Europe. Now, I'm going to tell you guys the honest truth. I am a little anxious. Jeffrey Rice, thank you for becoming a new member. Rob, thank you for becoming a new member as well. I am a little anxious about going to Eastern Europe. Not so much Western Europe, but Eastern Europe is very conservative, very post-Soviet Union, very white. I've seen some Africans that are out there in Slovakia, Slavia, places like that, Croatia. And they say that they get a lot of love. But being from the United States, where an all white city is not a good idea, thinking about going to an all white country, yeah. So I definitely had to be careful out there. The content is not going to be. You have, especially if you're going to be with white women, you have to be somewhere where that's been accepted. You know what I mean? I don't know how accepted it is in Eastern Europe. I know dudes are doing it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But you even said, you even seen Andrew Tate said that he was in, I think it was Moldova. And if you ask me, Andrew Tate looks white. I know he's mixed, but he looks white to me. Like, I wouldn't have never known he was mixed and black until he said that. But he said some dudes stopped the women that he was with and told them to go home, and they started fighting Andrew Tate. So to me, I don't look a little bit of white at all. But yeah, that would be a thing. Somebody said neo-Nazis are big in Eastern Europe. I could believe that. But I couldn't believe that at the same time just because Eastern Europe was part of the Soviet Union. And the Soviet Union was 100% against the Nazis. They actually defeated the Nazis. So I don't know how big it could be. I heard it's still big in Germany. It's not mainstream like it used to be, but there's still a community of that. But black men don't have a problem. I can't wait to get to Germany. I actually have. So the guy that did a condo tour in Bangkok back in January, him and his wife, it was like married passport, bro. They live in Germany, and I'm going to see them, and we're probably gonna do another tour out there and see what they living like out there too, just to compare the Thai versus German lifestyle for an American and a Thai woman. But I believe they said they met in Germany, so it'll be an interesting thing to see. Wrench Turner says, "Go ahead and come back to the city. The women in South Dallas are feminine and submissive." No, they're not. All jokes aside, safe travels, bro. Thank you very much, and thank you for putting that $10 towards the travel fund. But you guys know me, and there go Floyd right there. You guys know me. I'm gonna go find out for myself. I'll be the one to make the bold move and just go see. The way how I move wouldn't really. Now, if some people are just racist, they're gonna be racist regardless. But I've never really had a problem with racism my whole life. Even growing up in Texas, I've never really had a problem. Have I been called a nigger? Yes. Yes. Not directly to the face. I'm driving by my windows down, I hear somebody say nigger, and it's such a cowardly move that I couldn't tell, but I know for a fact I heard it. I've had white people in Texas, in Waco, Texas, when I was coming back. I had a barbershop in Austin, Texas that I used to run in Auston. And I had some white dudes just staring at me like I looked like I shouldn't have been there. And other than that, not really though. I haven't really had any racist issues. So I think it's just the energy I have may give me a pass, but I know I'm not exempt from anything. Big C, thank you for the $20 super chat. I appreciate everybody giving the $20 super chat. It says he's from Fort Worth, Texas. My family is from Martin and Miller. Martin and Miller on the east side of Fort Worth. That's where my family is from. I'm not from there, but my family is. So I know that area very well, though. But I'm not exempt from any racism, but I've never really worried about it. I did experience racism at an extreme level the first time in Brazil. Racism, I experienced that for the first time. Yeah, I did meet the blueprint girl, but we didn't do a video, no. He said the ASSC said Romania is whack as fuck. Really? I've never heard about that. You know who we need is one MT. We need one master teacher to join in. Somebody send him a DM and tell him to join in. Come drop some knowledge about Eastern Europe before we go over there. Gavin, thank you for the small token for the travel boss. Thank you very much. But you know that $10 is gonna go right back to you. So let me tell you guys how much I spent going to Nakuru, right? So for me, it was 700 shillings per person to ride on a 3.5 hour bus, small bus, a matatu, from here to Nakuru. 700 shillings. I'm gonna convert that for y'all real quick. So 700 shillings is about $4.73. So for both of us, it was about $9 to go over there. Then, what else did I spend money on? The Airbnb was $28 for the night. So now we're at about, for just me by myself, we're at somewhere around $32, right? $32. A meal by myself was about $3.38. So 40 if you want to eat that same meal twice. $45 the first day you get there. Meaning that per day, if you eat 2 meals per day, 2 big meals per day, or if you eat a big one, you probably need one, you're going to be spending less than $5, which means there's absolutely no reason to cook. Unless if you go to the grocery store. I can imagine the groceries are super cheap where That's almost like living in Thailand now, right? Like if you live in Pattaya, Kate and I, the video where we went grocery shopping and we were in Chiang Mai, it's extremely cheap in Chiang Mai. She spent, well, she got enough groceries, $6 worth of groceries. I mean, she had frogs, fish, she had all this shit, enough food for a whole week for her friend and I all to eat. And $6 lasted that entire time, and they cooked that every day. Okay. So $6. I think you can still do that same thing out here. So if you go move to somewhere like Nakuru, you could probably live off of groceries for maybe $50 a month. And it's such a small town, you're not gonna be doing much. So the game drive in Nairobi, you guys seen the girl I took on the safari? We went and saw all of the lions and all that. That was about 120 US dollars. That same thing is in Nakuru for $60. That's why I say everything is half. So there's a sacrifice, right? You can be in Nairobi where you have access to very beautiful women, you have access to malls everywhere, Western restaurants everywhere, Western style restaurants everywhere, tailors like my tailor, you guys know, Nelvin Chuma, NC Nairobi. You got access to Auston Holleman here too. But you got access to all this stuff here. Or you can go to Nakuru where there's a lot less access to all that, but everything is half the price. I think Nakuru is for somebody that is wanting to move to Kenya and stay, and they're like 50 years old. And they're not in the game. Like they're 50 years old and they're ready to live with one woman or play it slow for the rest of their life. That's who I would suggest moving to Nakuru. Floyd News Now Omaha says, come back to America. The women are better now. No, they are not. I'm still meeting them out here. It doesn't seem like it's getting any better. African men will have a harder time than American black men in Europe. Africans have the immigrant, poor refugee stereotype with no money. Yeah, I could believe that. I could 100%. That sounds about, and that's what I thought about when I did that. That. Cost of doing business, I prefer the big city. Yeah, I'll pay double the price because right now Nakuru is just a getaway. Like, okay, yeah, I'm tired of the busyness and the pressure to go hang out because when there's so many people here, you do feel like a lot of times you're missing out on things when you stay near the mix of everything. Like I stay near a lot of stuff still, even though I'm not in Westlands. I still stay near all that stuff. So if I sit in the house too much, I feel like, damn, I'm missing out. If you want to get away from that, yeah, Nakuru is a place for that. And they have this here in Nairobi, but I didn't actually try it until I got to Nakuru because I got a more local experience. There's a lot more poverty in Nakuru. Let's say that too. Like I didn't see over here, you can see Rolls Royce, sometimes Lamborghinis. You can see a lot of stuff like that in Nairobi. Not too much in I didn't see anything like that. Like the nicest car I saw was like a Lincoln. I was only there one day, so I can't judge it like that. But in Nairobi, you only got to be there a couple hours to see the cars I just named off. Let me get my phone charger really quick. Oh. With this leaf, like I told you guys before, you chew it, and the stiff part of the stalk, you don't eat that. It has like it kind of tastes like weed for a slight second when you put it in your mouth. But then it just tastes like you're eating some regular plant that you found on the side of the road. But then after you do that and you let it build up in your cheek, because they were telling you let it build up in your cheek and just let it sit in your mouth, it replaces Red Bull. It replaces coffee. It's a good supplement for Adderall. If you want the same effect that Adderall gives you, but you don't want to take amphetamines, this is it. This is it. So check that out. Now, I don't know Spanish fluently, but I do know Portuguese fluently. He says he eating crack leaves. That's what they might as well be, because they wake you up. Like I told you guys earlier, if you guys know the coca leaves that they make cocaine out of, I think this is like the African version of that. Like, I think if you were to find a way to process this and turn it into a white powder, it would be the same shit as cocaine. But it's not illegal. They sell it everywhere. I could see how it could be addictive though, because it's very inexpensive. In the side of the street, a very local rundown hole in the wall shop, this was 50 shillings. 50 shillings is like 30 cents. And you might need 2 of these a day. So 70 cents, and that's what you could do a day. But only thing I don't like about it is the stuff sits in your mouth. You know, you really got to brush your teeth. And I don't care about that, because I brush my teeth after I smoke cigars, because I refuse to let any of my teeth fall out or get yellow from cigars. Now, if you are somebody that doesn't brush their teeth, cigars will make your teeth yellow. Your teeth might even fall out over time. Not, I think they say it takes like 10 years. Do you have any friends in Kenya that are Kikuyu women? No. But are you one? We can start with you. Evelyn says he avoids opportunistic women. Oh, now if they opportunists, I've had enough opportunists. I've had enough of them. But this cat, I would never leave Kenya with this, because I don't want to go anywhere and get locked up because I didn't know, that it was illegal. But you had to drink a lot of water with it. The minute it hits your mouth, it absorbs all the saliva out your mouth. But you get really good ideas. You get really energetic. Like, I think if I had a speech to go do, I would do that. Why cigars over cigarettes? It's the same thing. It's absolutely not the same thing. First of all, cigars are, this is what a cigar is, right? This is a leaf. Imagine if this was a tobacco leaf. They literally just dry them, and they might put like vanilla beans or something to ferment it to make it taste like that. And then they literally just roll it up. You can look it up on YouTube. They just roll it up, and you smoke basically a whole fat thing of leaf. Cigarettes are tobacco that's manufactured at a wholesale, like at a major. It's like T-shirts out of Walmart versus a tailor-made T-shirt. That's the best way I can describe it. And cigarettes, they put chemicals in there to keep you hooked. Okay. I've went days without, even though you guys have seen me smoke cigars every day, there's sometimes I won't smoke them for days, meaning like 2 days. Cigarettes, you can't do that. Somebody said you need to put the cap between your lips and teeth. I guess that's so it could absorb into your gums. But they both do have nicotine because nicotine is what's in tobacco. That's, you're not gonna be able to get away from nicotine. Damn thing keeps going out. Now let's go to some of these Q&A questions. Yeah, cigars are all natural. That's why they're considered a luxury, because they're not going to end your life and have you walking around looking like an ostrich. No offense to the people that do look like that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. When people start smoking cigarettes 20 years later, they look like somebody cut their head off and then put it back on. I don't know anybody that got that from cigars. If you have seen that, let me know, because I haven't seen it. So 247 asks in the Q&A, do you like the cold? I absolutely hate cold weather. I absolutely hate it, but Nairobi was the first city in the world I sacrificed cold for. Before that, I was in Salvador Bahia, which is not the hottest place on the planet, but that felt like the hottest place on the planet for me in December, in January. Thailand is not cold except for in Chiang Mai. When I went there, it was cold at nighttime. Not too cold though. Nowhere else I've been in the world has been cold until I got to Africa. Zambia was shivering cold at nighttime in Lusaka. It was snow. So actually, when I was on the way to Nakuru, there's an area in between Nakuru, about an hour and a half outside of Nairobi, where it was snowing. And I got it on video. It's going to play here in about an hour. It was literally snowing in hail. Like the ground was white. I've never heard of snow in Africa until I heard about Kenya. Visual Multimedia says stay away from London. But by the way, I've also gotten used to being in the cold Nairobi, so I think I can deal with it in Europe. Even though Europe gets a lot colder, but you guys do notice I'm not going there in December. I'll be in my second month of being there in December. I would have already been there. December will be my second month, meaning that I'm trying to wrap it up quick, so I'm not in there during the cold months, because I cannot do the negative and the frostbite shit. I just can't do that. Why are you wasting your money going to Western Europe? The women in Germany, Holland have been destroyed by feminism. Well, it's not all about women either, right? It's just about the experience, right? When you travel to so many countries, you get people to shut the fuck up when you're talking, right? So if I say, oh yeah, and if I say something about Africa that was stereotypical, and I say, yeah, that's true. Oh, you haven't been there. Actually, I've been to 7 countries this year in Africa. Now they shut the fuck up. No, you've been there? Yeah, let me show you. I got it on YouTube. I got receipts. I got hours of videos of me in Africa. You can't say shit to me. Yeah, there's always room to learn. But when you're well traveled, you're also well respected, because you know a lot more than the average American, for sure. An American, because Americans don't travel like they should, but you know a lot more than they do, and people listen to you. That's why y'all listen to me. That's why Black American women that didn't like me at first when I was only in Brazil, now they listen to me, because they can learn something. Even though I've said what I've said about them, and it wasn't about them in specific, they still listen to me, because you can still learn something. I get emails from them all the time, almost daily. So build your experience up. That's what it's really about. Me going to the Netherlands is not about, yes, of course, I'm going to try to date women while I'm there. Yes. But it's about the experience. I'm very blessed to do what I'm doing right now. and I'm going to take full advantage of it while I can. I don't think Kenyan women are attracted to white men over blacks, but they see them as an opportunity. Black women worldwide see white men as an opportunity. Let's be honest. Honestly, most black women that divest, the finance is the primary reason why. It's not because that other man might be nicer or all this other stuff. It's because of that. Probably somewhere in the Middle East. What are you talking about? Somebody said you're way buff but shorter in person. I've seen you before. Where did I see you at? I'm almost 6 foot. I'm not that short. Somebody said that filter on cigarettes is extra harmful too. Yeah. Notice that there's no filter on cigars. That's also why you don't inhale them. Now, I'll be honest with you. If you inhale cigars, it'd probably do more damage than a cigarette would. And about black women divesting, let's be honest. It's one thing if a black woman goes and gets a white, if she's 25 and she goes and gets a 25-year-old white guy. But when she's 25 and she goes and gets a 50-year-old white guy, we know exactly why she did that. That's a short that I'm gonna clip up right there. I'm gonna start some trouble with that. I'm gonna make that a short and post that. I'm gonna make that a short and post that. They're not gonna be happy with me, but they never are, so that's fine. Now, let's look at some more of these Q&A questions. Any plans to go to the UAE, Dubai, or Abu Dhabi? Yes, I want to go to Pakistan, Israel, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and it's another country over there. Actually, I think that might be it. It might be it. Because the other ones are going to be so conservative, I don't think you would have as much fun. You would have to go there just to see something or just to see the culture or just for a bucket list. Like, I think it's one of the Ishtan countries, but I think it's Turkmenistan or something like that. And it has that big hell pit. They call it the pit to hell. It's like this big hole that's basically on fire or something like that. It's definitely a bucket list thing. But other than that, to date and all that, no. I wouldn't try to go to a Muslim country trying to date. That sounds like a good way to get your head chopped off. Which country is next after Africa? Like I was telling you, I'm about to go to Thailand, and right after that, Romania. Who was your last sexual encounter? Ask China. Like Trump used to say, ask China. Do you like chill country vibes? Seems like that's common in Europe. Elaborate on chill country vibes. You mean like just go sit by the beach and listen to the water and not socialize at the beach? That kind of chill? Will you visit the United Kingdom? Yes. I know a lot of people don't like Just Pearly Things anymore because of some stuff she did that I don't think it was a good move either. But she invited me last year when I first started, if I ever came to the UK, that she would put me on the show. Let me know. Put a one in the chat if you want to see me on Just Pearly Things show. Stick to countries with more than 10 million population because mathematically there's a higher chance of encountering interested females, 100%. The small countries have no nightlife and bear any females. Absolutely. And let me look up the population of Senegal because that may have been a thing there too. 16.8, so it's not that one. But I know what you mean. If there's less women, they're not going to be as open to dating out, probably. Will you come back to Nairobi? Absolutely. Guys act like there's no reason to travel outside of women. Yeah, exactly. Like, for example, the trips where women are a big reason why I travel to, yes, 10 days plus. But if I'm going to somewhere like Egypt, where I don't think Egypt is a place where you go date, that's a 5-day trip. Have I been to the DR? No. That'll be one of my last places just because the DL has already been covered. Yeah, I don't know if you guys notice, I like going places that have not been covered yet. That's why I went to Zambia. A lot of people haven't covered Zambia. A lot of people haven't covered Senegal. He said smash Pearl. A lot of people haven't covered Rwanda. That's covered, but not a lot. Uganda too. A lot of people have been there, but not in this space. See some more Q&A questions. By country vibes, I mean small fishing towns, wine drinking, eating cheese, very common with Europe. That sounds like a Italian, Greece type of thing. What's that island that's south of Italy that is owned by like 4 different countries? Like it's more like it's split up by 4 different countries. I think it's Sicily, right? I think Sicily was a. Let me see. Let's look at the map, so I know what I'm talking about. But it's in the Mediterranean. That's more like a Mediterranean lifestyle that you're talking about. I think it's Sicily. It might be. It's one of those places over there. But places like Florence, Naples, I could see that being a just relax and you go there with somebody. It's not so much of a turn up. I'm not saying they don't have a nightlife, but it's not somewhere like a turn up. Yeah, Sicily, Malta, Corsica, Cyprus. That's the name of the country, Cyprus. A lot of people haven't covered Botswana either. That's why I said I got to do a round trip. I got to go around. I can't stay in Africa for too long because I thought about them 30 countries I said I was doing. I'll be here until 2025 trying to do all that. Or at least May. And honestly, I don't want to sit in one spot too long. Next question. Would you be down to attend the running of the bulls? I've never heard of that. Let me look that up. Notice how I never directly respond to my haters on YouTube, not the people in the comments. But these other YouTubers that come after Auston Holleman, they diss me, they get no clout. They don't get a response from me because that's what they want. Yes, I would go to the Run of the Bulls. Now that I see what that is, it's a historical event too, I can see. Running of Death is more like it, yeah. I would go watch it. I'm not going to participate in any random bulls running around the damn street. Have you got any health insurance yet? No, I actually have not. As bad as that sounds. Morocco, I will do Morocco, but I think that's going to. Here's one thing I might do. Whenever I go to Spain and Portugal, before I leave Europe, I think I'll go to somewhere like Morocco and then come back to the rest of Africa. But we're going to wrap this live up here in about 20 minutes so you guys can watch the new vlog that drops in about 50 minutes. I just wanted to get on here and socialize with you guys. I think I'm doing too many lives. Put a 1 in the chat again if you think I'm doing too many lives. Number 1 in the chat if you think I'm doing too many lives. If so, I'll wait until maybe like Sunday to go live again. We got a 2 from the Big C. Thank you very much for that. I'm glad you're enjoying it. We got a bunch of 2. 2 lives a week is healthy. So people like the lives. I will say this, you guys do need to leave some comments on what you would like to see me go live on next, because I can run out of ideas. I can't, just like I can run out of vlog ideas in one city, I can run out of ideas on what to go live about. That's why I do a panel, because I'm like, okay, let me just see if you guys want to talk. But so far, I haven't got any ones. So everybody likes the live, so I'll keep doing it. When are you going to get your crypto? I remember you. I actually need you to email me, or if you still have my WhatsApp, so we can talk about this slime thing you made for me, because I forgot how to access it. I think I still have my password on my phone, though, on my thing. 1 live a week is fine. What do y'all think about that? 1 live. Put in the chat how many lives you want to see per week. Let's do anywhere from 1 to 4. Put a number in the chat. Just interact with the comments. That is a good way to go live, is reading the comments and just finding something that I can, because usually when I do lives, I'll jot down notes. I'll jot down 7 to 10 bullet points so I can talk on those for an hour. So we see 1 live a week, 4 lives a week, 7 lives a week. More videos. Yeah, more videos for sure. 2 a week is cool, so you won't be burnt out. See, the reason I'm doing the lives is because I'm getting burnt out from doing videos. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll put a poll up, because I can't keep track of all these numbers y'all just put in the chat. So let's put a poll up. How many lives per week? We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 plus. I just got your text, Crypto King. I just got your text right now. So far, y'all voted on that shit fast. Should be based on what's popping, yeah. Somebody said 21 lives a week, so I need to go three lives per day. I'll stop doing vlogs if I do that. Then this will become a red pill channel, or this will become a. I will tell you what I will do after I travel the world. I pretty much covered everything. I'll probably do maybe 2 vlogs a week, but then I'll do a podcast setup where I just sit down and talk about my experiences on each part of the world. So far, 3 lives is at 32%. 10% of y'all voted for 1 live per week. 2 lives per week, 33%. It's still looking like 3. So it's looking like it might be 2 or 3 lives per week. And the benefit of me doing 2 to 3 lives per week is I'll be able to have a more solid. I'll probably be able to go on a rant too, right? Because it's less for me to deal with. But we'll come back to that in a minute. You should make a travel essentials playlist where you make videos showing what you travel with and how you cut your hair while you're abroad. That's a good idea. I miss Kate. She was the most genuine. I saw chemistry. I will agree with this. Out of all the women I had on my channel, Kate and I have the most videos. We were actually living and dating together and traveling together. We actually liked each other, but it just didn't work out. Let's just say that. Don't forget to check out the clips. I will do that. 5 vlogs, 5 is balance, and we'll give you off 2 days a week. What do you mean? Like 3 vlogs, 2 lives, 3 vlogs, 2 lives. That would be a lot less stressful too. I tell you that. And I could take some days. I would still record every day, but I wouldn't edit those days, and I wouldn't have that pressure. They want more lives, but that might dilute the content. Keep it at 1. I'm thinking 2 lives a week. Nothing wrong with having a travel companion, but that's up to you. No, here I'm gonna tell you why I don't want a travel companion, a female travel companion. I do not want to go to somewhere like, let's say, Trinidad or Sweden, and then I have a Kate, not Kate, a Kate with me, right? And then I'm looking around a room like, damn, I wish she wasn't with me. That's why I'm still single, because I'm still traveling. I am not going to do that to myself. Like, imagine if I would have came to Brazil with Kate. Oh, I would have wanted to kill myself. I would have been like, no, why did I do this? So Anonymous says daily videos are too much. What volume views do you need to reduce that to a manageable number? If I want to do 3 vlogs per week, I would need my vlogs to do at least 30,000 views per video. I went and got a haircut out here and ended up with a cut lip. Point me in the right direction for a barber. The only direction I can point you is to me, but I hate cutting hair. I hate it. I did it for years, and I did like 3,000 haircuts in a few years, maybe 2 or 3 years. So no, you gotta live and actually experience the experiences in order to share them authentically. Yes, yeah, because I can't. Because then this will change into a channel of, if I travel around the world with a woman, this channel will change into a, this is what it's like eating spaghetti in Italy. This is what it's like eating croissants in France. No, I still want to talk about this is what it's like dating in Sweden. This is what it's like dating in Kenya. This is what it's like date. That is what I started off with, and that gets a lot more views, and it's a lot more controversial. Y'all know I love controversy. I love the videos people make about me. So the dating is where I gotta stay there. We won't be talking about spaghetti. Kate seemed like everything we hated in the Matrix. No. No. Even though we fell out on bad terms, no. I'm not gonna say that about her. Certain things, the way she dressed, yes. At times she could have been maybe argumentative, yes. But for the most part, she was pretty peaceful outside of those things. Do you plan to buy a car in Kenya? Hell no, they drive too crazy. We got about 10 more minutes left on this live. So the vote shows that 33% of y'all voted for 2 lives per week, and I think that's what we might do. 2 lives a week. We're gonna end the poll right there. And if I do feel like, hey, I got a topic that I really want to rant about or elaborate on, I'll throw an extra live in there as needed. Somebody asked, who is Kate? Kate is the girlfriend I had in Thailand. The Brofessor, what's going on? I appreciate you being in all. He's in my YouTube comments, he's in my Facebook comments, and he's on my Instagram comments. I appreciate you for that. Now, Gigi Sean says y'all better start donating. So let's talk about that. We're about to go to a whole new continent. We need to fund that. If you guys want to see the quality vlogs, you guys know that it's not free and it's definitely not cheap to do this. So feel free to draw. We're gonna do an $800 fundraiser per se. $800 fundraiser. Everybody drop $1. And y'all tell me what y'all want to see out of Europe that's not gonna risk my life. And I'm gonna give it to you. Why not pair up with Checking Effect? He's in Kenya. It would be epic. Checking Effect left like a month and a half ago. I don't know if y'all know, Checking Effect does not post these videos when he's still in the country. Something that I was recommended to do, but I just can't do that. I'm not patient enough to record. Plus, I post too often, and I'm in a country for too long. That means you guys will see me not post for a week or 10 days. And I like, see, when I do stuff, I want you guys to see it now. Like most of these videos that I post, you guys are seeing this. I did that hours before I posted it. That's why I say I can get burnt out. So I'll go, if I take, for example, when me and Kesa went on a date and I was flirting with her and telling her I wouldn't call her back, I posted that video 2 hours after we did that. I do all this stuff right away. I do not wait. And I think that's why my subscribers, by the way, we're almost at 80,000 subscribers, y'all. We are at 79,000 subscribers, and let's see, we're at 79,024 subscribers. We only need 76 more subscribers, which means that we can get that tomorrow. If I post some shorts Gavin gave me, we can get that tomorrow. So Gavin, we need the 80,000. We need the 80,000 announcement thumbnail. But yeah, I appreciate the super chat. And also we have the first dollar donator from the Big C, his second donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everybody, like I said, we need to raise an $800 fundraiser to go to Europe. The flights are already paid for, but the trip continues on after Romania. Russ sent a $3 super sticker. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. Czech is back into Colombia. I don't know. I know he was asking me about another country in Africa, so I don't know where he's at, though. Because he could be, I don't know. You never know. Barbecue would be on his ass if he went to Haiti. Yeah, I'm not going to Haiti, that's for sure. Andrew JM, he put, this channel is entertaining for when I'm bored, so F it. Here goes 10. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. We need about 700, considering what you guys have already donated. We need about $700 more for the Europe fund. And actually what's going to happen is when that comes through, I'm going to go ahead and book the flight to Poland. I think I'm going to do 2 cities in Germany. I'm going to pay for that flight, pay for the flight to Sweden, pay for the flight to the Netherlands. Well, you really don't need to fly to the Netherlands. All the flights, it'll all get booked. And y'all know one thing about Auston Holleman, right? This is what y'all know about me. I'll get on my community post and I'll show you. I'll show you that I booked the flights. Y'all know I don't never cap. We got another donator right here, Irvin Hunt, with a $25 super chat. He says, 60-year-old fan, let's go to Europe. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And you know what? I get a lot of love from the people in their 50s and 60s. Let me go look at my analytics and see how many of y'all are there. Thank you for that super chat. So far, in the last 28 days, my audience is 55 and up, makes up about 16% of my audience, which is actually pretty cool because 65 plus years old makes up 5% of my audience, meaning that there's a lot of grandfathers with grandchildren watching Auston Holleman. Something must be done right. I must be doing something right if I have that one. We have an 80%, a 79.7% male audience, 20.2% female audience, and a 0.1 non-binary, I guess that is. 13 to 17 years old makes 0.2%. 18 to 24 years old makes 9%. 25 to 34 makes 29%. And this is the bulk of my audience. 25 to 54 is the bulk of my audience. 35 to 44 makes up 26.7%, and 45 to 54 makes up 18.6% of my audience. Thank you very much for the super. We got another $5 donation right here. Would you prefer the donation Cash App or Super Chat? And will you combine both donations? So I prefer Cash App because I get it immediately, right? But YouTube Super Chats, I get them and they take 30% of whatever y'all donate. So if you give me $100, they give me 70. You give me 10, they give me 7. And I only get those once a month. And I just got paid like a few days ago. So it'd be like another 3.5 weeks before I see it. What percentage of your audience is in Africa? Let's take a good look at that. So 53% of my audience makes up the United States. When I was in Brazil, it was like 80. But I've been doing more traveling, spreading myself around the world. So there you go. Kenya makes up 20% of my audience alone. The United Kingdom, it says 6.4%, Canada 3, South Africa 1.5, Ghana 1.5, Germany 1. And then there's a few other countries, but they're all below. But the bulk of my audience is the United States, Kenya, UK, Canada, and South Africa. Those are my top 3, 4, 5 countries. So y'all get those super chats in. Remember, we going to Europe. If you're tired of seeing Africa, you want to see a change, donate to the Cash App or the super chats. Let me see if we did the Cash App yet. I don't think I heard my phone go off, so probably not yet. No, we don't have any from there yet. Also, sometimes I don't know if you guys are trolling or not, but you guys will send me a donation on Cash App, but you'll request it instead of sending it. I'm 30 and I took that personally. What do you mean? Took what personally? They said nobody donates, so he stay in Africa. No, even without them donations, that ticket is already bought to Romania. You can take the train to Europe. Yeah, I know. I don't know if it's in Eastern Europe, but I know in Western Europe, you can pretty much get around the whole West with the train. Do you think you can pull some quality white women in Europe? Yes, yes. That's anywhere in the world I can. I'm getting smarter at picking, though. I'm getting smarter at picking. The more bullshit I go through, the more I learn what to not go for. He said most of Europe is played out and boring. The thing is, Eastern Europe is not played out. Plus, Auston Holleman has a different perspective. My content is different, especially when I go on dates. You do see. I don't think I've seen many travel YouTubers do the dates the way how I do. I see them go on dates, but I will actually. This is not a planned, type of video. This is just I'm on a date. You okay with being on camera? Let me put you on camera. Somebody said white culture is boring. I had to disagree. White people have a lot of history. Let's just say Burdens sent $25 for the European fund. Thank you very, very much for that. Thank you very, very much. See, we got some people donating. We need let's say about $600 more. $600 more, and we'll be, whenever we get to around, let's say the $400 mark, we'll know we're on to something. I know you guys want to see Europe. And no, just because I'm in Europe does not mean I hate black women. And we have a black woman right here. She wants to see the European fund. I've seen her face before on the comments somewhere, I think. Aristocrat sent a $2 super chat. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, the pro blacks, it's sad to say. It's sad to say. But the pro blacks that have supported me in Africa, I got a feeling a lot of them are going to switch sides when I step foot in Romania. Especially whenever they see me with a white woman. I think we just had the Cash App get hit again. Let's see what we got going this time. AIT sent a $25 Cash App. Thank you very, very much. Wow, we're getting closer to that $500 mark. So we almost there. We need about $50 more to get to the $500 mark. Somebody said it's a waste. But if I can't, if it's cheaper for me to ride the train, then I'll buy my Airbnbs. I can show y'all my receipt, but I won't show y'all the Airbnb because y'all got some crazy people that I know who owns that Airbnb. I'm gonna be waiting on Auston when he get there. Did you date any non-black women in Africa? Absolutely not. The closest I got to it, and we didn't date, I was talking to this one chick. She's like Indian and Malagasy, which is African. But never kissed her, none of that. But when I go to a certain country, I go there for what is there. So when I came to Africa, I didn't come to date white women. Actually, whenever I seen white women in Africa, it was just like, I'll wait until I get to Europe, or I'll wait until I get to a really diverse. Like if I was in South Africa, maybe, but in Tanzania, no, that's not what I'm here for. Cash App got hit 2 more times. Let's see. We got $10 from Big Season. I'm assuming Big CZN, $10. He said for my nigga T European fan funds, fun funds. Thank you very much. Dennis Maburu, $7 Cash App. He says, for need to see Europe from Auston's perspective. I'm glad you understand that. My perspective is different. Because y'all gotta remember, I tell y'all the truth. I really don't sugarcoat nothing. I tell you exactly what I see. But yeah, you definitely got to be careful dating white women in white countries. Like you said, there was a guy that got jumped and killed in Greece. So it might be one of those places where I am doing 3 vlogs a week, and the vlogs that have dates will not have, I probably won't be in that country anymore. In Eastern Europe, per se. Western Europe, like I said, I think they're a little more accepting, like Germany, the Netherlands, Portugal. I don't think you have to worry about that kind of stuff on that side of the world. But Greece is in the East. And like I told y'all, the East is a lot older. So we need a few more donations. We got $65 that came through on Cash App so far. So we getting close to that goal that we said we was gonna get to. Auston finna date the Neanderthals. I think they call the Dutch, right? Or is that an inside joke? So we got a super chat from AirTex Pro, the $5 super chat. He says, yo, I just got here. Can you give me a rundown of what you've said so far? From what I gather, you plan on going to Europe, which country? So far, I just talked about what I saw in Nakuru, which was a slower paced city. And thank you for the super chat. And I'm starting in Romania, Poland, Germany, Sweden, Netherlands, Spain, Italy, Portugal. Like for sure, I'm going to hit those countries for sure. Europeans are for recreational use only. Auston doesn't sugarcoat for shit. Yes, I don't. It's gotten me in trouble many times. Good trouble. Because I don't sugarcoat, I constantly get reposted on people's podcasts. I constantly go viral. I go viral 3 or 4 times a month. I love it. Every week there's a video about me. On my Instagram, I just get this influx of followers. And I'm like, somebody must have reposted me. And I go look, and the people in Rwanda are mad at me. And the people in Nigeria and Ghana don't like the fact that I said that we look like them. I don't know. A lot of that stuff shouldn't even be offensive, but hey, the more people that see my face, the better it is for this business, because this business is about notoriety. As many people know you, the more money you can make. We know we can trust you because you speak the truth. Yes, even when it's risky, I speak the truth. Smart man to post a date videos after you roll out. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Yes. Yes. Thank you for the super chat. I like how Auston doesn't ever really address the haters who make videos about him. I'll say something about it, but I never say a name because you're not going to benefit off of that. Yeah, London is fine for black men. I've heard that. There's plenty of black people out there. I mean, it's not plenty because it's London, but it's enough. C-Man says, not being negative, but I don't think you would have a good dating experience, especially in Romania. I've been there. Those women are very hesitant to date non-Romanians, let alone black men. We got to get one MT in here because he had a completely different story. He had actually a few videos about Romania. I used to listen to him a lot before I left the States. I love the honesty. Auston is an open book. That's what makes you a great content creator. Thank you very much. And that's what makes a lot of people that you wouldn't expect it to. I get women in every country I go to say, especially here in Kenya, that are like, oh, I watch your videos. It's so interesting to hear from your perspective. So that's what being honest and open does. Been here since you hugged your mom goodbye. Your videos keep getting better and better. So much growth. Thank you very much. If you have not watched my first video outside the United States, go to the playlist where I was in Thailand, and there's a picture of my mom crying. You need to watch the video. I did the perfect intro. It starts off with my mom all crying and hugging me, and I'm like, oh, like I'm so sad that my mom is sad, but I don't feel too bad because I got to get the hell out of here. Got another cash app right here from Patrick. He sent $1.35. Thank you very much. Let's see if he left a note. Thank you very much for that, Patrick. Thank you so much. But we about to get off here probably like 10 minutes. I'm assuming the people after this, but I'll keep talking about it in my vlogs, just saying we're doing a fundraiser for Europe, just to make things easier and to make sure we guarantee the trip go well. Yeah, we'll get off here in about 5 minutes. When are you finally going back to Brazil? I don't know the exact month yet, but there will be a time that I do go back. And you won't know until after I leave. I played off so good you won't even know I was there. African/Black women are the definition of a real woman. Okay. That's your opinion. Let's talk about it. I'm not disagreeing with you though, because that's black is my preference, my number one preference. Auston, how much is a good savings to start when traveling? Let me tell you something about my savings whenever I first started. When I left in October, I'm very risky as a person. I'm very risky. That's why I'm an open book. When I first started traveling, I had like $7,000. And people were like, make sure you got this paid off, that. I was like, I don't give a damn about none of that. I'm moving out of here because I'm about to go crazy. But if you want to have enough, first of all, you need to have enough money to get back to the United States. That's number one. If you don't have $2,500, that's not it. But over time, because my cost of living dropped, even though I started spending a lot when I left, I was able to, I'm not going to tell you how much I saved, but I definitely saved. He said you need at least 5 figures. I definitely saved well over that in this amount of time. Because the cost of living dropped. Especially, I saved a lot of money when I was in Asia. I saved the most money actually when I was in Asia. I'm expecting that same thing when I get to Europe. I'm expecting that same result. He put shaking his head. I don't know why. Thank you for the $5 super chat from Enlightenment. He says, "Congratulations, brother. Enjoy those beautiful white women." Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will do that. Film a bunch in advance so that you can visit. And yeah, I'm gonna pull a checking effect. Whenever I'm actually, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to record 2 to 3 vlogs per day. 2 to 3 vlogs per day. And whenever I do decide to go back to where I want it to be at, I will have enough content to post 2 videos from the last country I was at. What was driving me crazy in America? Everything, even the food. I only have 40,000 in savings. That's more than enough. I would actually leave immediately if I was in that situation that you are in. Stop pedestalizing black women. They aren't better than any other women. Okay. That's what you say. That's what you say. I mean, there's a lot of there's black women in Brazil, there's black women in Colombia, they're all over the Caribbean and the Central America and Mexico, United States, Canada, parts of Europe, none in Asia. Not original. They moved there, not original. And then you got 54 countries in Africa, so they're not all the same. And like Marty said, he said most countries have a history of racism. Yes, they do. Most countries have a history of genocide too. So you're not gonna really be able to. I honestly think it's normal for humans to be to have favoritism over a certain race. Believe it or not, if black people had the power to do it in the United States, we would do the same thing the white people did. If you ask me, we would do the same thing. We just don't have the power to do that. Black women are best when they are not liberalized to the core. I would agree. But you guys, I appreciate you guys coming through and all the good money you guys donated. Remember, we need to get to $800 goal, and right now we're close to about 200 in. So I appreciate it. I'll keep promoting this with the end of my vlogs, beginning of my vlogs. I'll keep reminding y'all. And I appreciate y'all showing so much love and support and even making a fundraiser like that possible, because we've done this before. Dennis Sperling was the first person to do it for me. I mean, no, he wasn't. When I first started, people did it just because, but he was the first person to actually call it a fundraiser and do it. So I appreciate it. I will see you guys in like 15 minutes with a vlog, and then I will see you guys tomorrow with another vlog, and then we'll have another vlog after that. Thank you very much.